All right, ladies and gentlemen, people of Earth, members of the Nub Nation, I have never done a video like this in my life, but a couple people have requested and suggested that I do a 10-year surfing progression video. Now, I kind of know exactly where to go on YouTube to find this information, so this is actually going to be really fun for me to dive into this and try to figure out if I've even gotten any better or if I've gotten worse. What have soft tops done to affect my surfing? How have fiberglass shapes changed? And how's my rail game? How's my barrel riding? So on and so forth. So 10 years of surfing progression. To kick off this video, I just want to state I'm 31 years old right now. So I truly believe that the height of my surfing ability was probably around when I was 16 or 17 years old. At 16, I qualified for the United States surf team through the US Championships in Huntington Beach. I was on the world team. We went to Tahiti. We got second place. I didn't actually surf in the contest. I rode the bench. I was an alternate, but I do have the medal. That's about as semi-pro as it gets, right? There was a point in time, obviously, when I was sponsored for surfing when I was in high school. And at the end of high school, I lost my sponsor. It was a company called Alliance. I guess it was a snowboard company that went and tried to dive into surfing. And after about a year, they decided that it wasn't profitable and they were going to pull out. So they fired all their team riders. Everything ended up, the company just went belly up. All the investors pulled out. And at the time, I think I was 18 or 19 years old. It was gnarly because they actually owed me $2,400 and I never got it. So at the time, that was a lot of money for me. So just a little fun history about my surfing past. So I grew up thinking, pretty much knowing that I was gonna try to compete on the WQS to qualify for the World Championship Tour. And when I was a kid, I thought that I had the potential to qualify. I was ranked in the top 300 surfers in the world on the ASP qualifying series, which is now the WSL. And that was my dream. My dream was to become a pro surfer, surf contests, and compete against people like Kelly Slater. That was what I wanted to do with my life. When I lost my sponsor before college, I enrolled in film school shortly after that, and I decided to follow a path of filmmaking. And that has always been I would say surfing and filmmaking has always been equal passions for me in life. So I actually started filming around the time in life that I started surfing. I might even have started filming before I started surfing. But anyway, those are the two most important things in my life. And it's pretty astounding that through my life choices, I've found a way to tie those two passions together and create a life from filmmaking and surfing. Because like my surfing was never good enough to get me anywhere. And my filmmaking, maybe I could have done something in the film industry, but I loved surfing so much. So when I fused, filmmaking and surfing and started making YouTube videos, that's when I became a successful surfer. So pretty interesting stuff, but we're gonna go back. Do a screen recording here. Record. Oh, okay, it's recording. So the first surfing video I ever uploaded on YouTube. So this is wild because I have to go back to when my name was Ben Grafe. This is a long time ago, people. This is a long time ago. But I simply type in Ben Grafe surfing here, and I'm pretty sure, see, this is the video that we're really going to dive into right here. Ben Grafe surfing. It was posted 9 years ago, but it's actually 10 years old, and some of the footage is even older than that. But look at this. Ben Grafe, 11/3, that's November 3rd, 12 years ago. Oh my gosh, the pixelation. So this is November 12th, 2007, and the crazy thing about this is I'm pretty sure it was filmed in September or October, so it took me 2 months to figure out how to upload a video. And this is the first video I ever uploaded on my vlog channel. So I've had this channel for 12 years. I just never uploaded to it. So we're gonna check out some of my 19-year-old barrel riding right now. The pixels, dude. Oh my God. Coming out after the spit. So my barrel riding 12 years ago in that clip is actually a banger. So kind of unfair to myself to start the video off this way. But wow, what a clip. 12 years old, and that video has mustered up an astounding 17,000 views on YouTube. This is before I knew anything about YouTube, so that's pretty wild. But we're gonna get into it here. This is Ben Grafe surfing. I'm just gonna record the screen Inappropriate, Ben. What are you doing? Look at that, the young gravy, and just kicking it off with a bigger air than I've ever done. Well, I guess I did it, but kicking it off with an absolutely massive frontside 360 air. So let's do a side-by-side comparison here, because I actually have a clip of me doing a frontside air at the wave pool in Palm Springs, which is probably one of the best airs I've stomped recently. So this is going to be hard for me because, let's be real, like, it's going to be difficult for me to sift through all this footage and find, like, be like, okay, there's a frontside air, now I'm going to go find a frontside air. But I do have this super recent frontside air from the Palm Springs wave pool that we can watch. Here it is. Okay, I'm pumping down the line. There's an ad in the way. Bang! Kind of blew it out, I'm not going to lie. Kind of got like 2 feet of air. Now, if we do a side-by-side comparison, this is going to be tough, man. So side-by-side comparison. Oh, the Grom air was better. It really was. All right, let's just keep watching through, and then after I watch this video, I'm going to do some more comparisons. So that's a move I still do to this day. It's under scrutiny right now from Palm Beach Perry. Is it a shove it? I don't know. It's been called a passion pop. It's been called a double grab varial. It's been called a double grab shove it. I just like to call it a passion pop to keep it simple. I called it a shove it one day when I was surfing with Perry, and I got in tons of trouble because a shove it is done with no hands. In surfing, there's a lot of scrutiny when you use your hands. Okay, that was more of a Superman late shove, I would call that. So here's me pumping down the line, front side, throwing the tail. I'm riding a firewire here. That was kind of a nice turn. Finished it off with a hack. Wow, look at this little barrel. So that's when Atlantic City was actually good. The waves were firing, and I couldn't even make it through that one. Ate it. So here's a front side. Through my tail a little bit, hacking it off the top. Big old floater. That was at 32nd Street in Longport. Here we are in Cape May. Backside. I don't go backside. Bang. Decent turn. Oh, backside reverse. See, that was ugly. I don't like that, but you know, you have to go through these types of motions to get good at stuff. Here's a nice little backside barrel from Atlantic City. I threaded the needle decently. Oh, this is when Atlantic City was just the absolute freaking dream. Look at this thing. Are you kidding? You don't even know how much money I would pay to surf that right there, that hurricane swell in Atlantic City. Fully closing out, just right on the beach, shells in your wetsuit. But dude, those little throaty little twos are just the most fun you'll ever have. So here we are in Longport. Oh, Superman. I can admit this. I have not done a Superman in a long time. Frontside barrel. Doing a little snap here, and I'm setting it up for the inside. This is some ugly stuff, guys, coming through the inside right here. Frontside, little snap, and I'm gonna bring it in. Okay, little wheelie Superman. That's actually, I'm gonna give myself, you know, this is credible. This is a nice barrel style. I was stalling it out, controlling the speed, and then I got in there. I didn't get really deep, but I'm in there. And then, oh my God, that hack was not, and that air, no. No, Ben. Barrel riding, okay. Not bad, that was good. I threaded that perfectly. That, I wish I could start doing that again. Look at that wave. That thing had full size on it. So, full 80s kick stall to stall it out. Backside reverse, and I'm gonna have a whoa. And guys, oh my God, I keep hitting this. I'm gonna have a lot of notes afterwards, just stuff that I'm storing in my memory banks for when we talk about this after the video. Throwing the tail to the sky. Back then, like, I wanted nothing more than to surf Lake Tajboro back then. All right, frontside air, pretty small, but I spun it around, not bad for a Grom. There's another tail chuck, spun it around, not bad for a Grom. Here's some more decent barrel riding. That was nothing to me. That wasn't really a turn. This is a sick barrel. I don't think I'm gonna make it though. Bang, closed out. That beach break is sick though. See, that's something I can take note on. So when I used to ride barrels, I used to drop in all the way. See how I drop down to the bottom, and then I do a bottom turn, and then I stall out, and I only got about, what, I would say the last quarter of that barrel when I could have gotten 100% of it if I had just stalled out in the beginning of the wave. As far as my barrel riding technique, I actually have some good barrel riding fundamentals right here. But as far as my technique overall, it's improved quite a bit. But I'm going to describe the scenario of my life after this, and then I'm going to try to find some footage of that. That was nice, but I wasn't really deep in the barrel. That was a tail chuck. So I had some tricks. I can still do backside reverses. That's a little air. I probably wouldn't. This is like my favorite wave ever. Backside revo, and then I come inside and I back it up, and I'm wearing a Heinz catsup shirt, 2 reverses on the same wave. Oh, and finishing the video, what is up with my haircut? So I was working on those shovels, but I never got them to spin completely around. So, okay, here's what I can say before I try to find the footage of me being fat. So it's going to be hard to like put years on this stuff, but here's the situation for me is, okay, so in my mind, I was at the height or the peak of my surfing at the end of high school, and when I was going to go onto the QS and be like full pro and try to qualify for the tour, and I thought I was going to be a full pro. Obviously, my life had different plans, and in all reality, I'm so happy and grateful that it did, because I don't think I would ever have ended up in the position that I'm in if my life continued that direction. I probably would have gotten more bitter than I already was towards the surf industry, or what I thought the surf industry was, and I probably wouldn't even surf now, to be honest with you guys, because after I quit surfing, I want to call it quit surfing, I quit competitively surfing, and I would not surf for fun. I would only surf when the waves were really, really good. And this is after I got dropped by my sponsor. I was in film school and I wasn't focused on surfing. I was like, if I can't get anything out of surfing, I'm not even gonna try. Like, that was my mindset. Totally toxic, brutal mindset. So I really let my surfing slip for many years. And not to mention, I was drinking like a fish, and I ended up getting fat. I don't know if you can see in this video, but I'm like 220 pounds in this video, and still somehow fitting into that little barrel. And look, it's gonna kind of sound weird because like I'm surfing pretty decent in this video, but compared, this is 4 years after that barrel I showed you guys and some of those airs. So like that reverse was so slow. That was sick, but look how slow I spun it around. You can see how fat I am, dude. I'm so fat. But this is at a time in my life when I wasn't focused on this. You know, that turn was hideous right there, and watch. I was so obsessed with like ripping. Oh God, horrible. I was so obsessed with ripping, and I thought I was better than I was, because I wasn't working on my fundamental surfing. I was just trying to pretend that I surfed as good as I did when I was 18 and I was traveling the world and I was sponsored and all this stuff. So I had that 18-year-old US team mindset when I was 22, 23 years old and fat and drinking all the time and not surfing. So I would go out there and think that I was blasting like these sick airs and all this stuff, and really I was doing baby airs and half turns and all these hacks. Look at that, I'm just forcing the issue so hard. All right, we got the point out of that video. You know, I was overweight, I was going into surfing just looking at it differently. You know, I didn't have the flow because I never surfed. I was just surfing and going out and thinking I was like a QS guy. I think one of the most beneficial things that I did was I sat back and I took a realistic look at my surfing, and I was like, that's not me. You know what I mean? I'm not Mick Fanning. I'm Ben Gravy. So why don't I just embrace what's good about Ben Gravy? Let's embrace what's good about me and my surfing and really enjoy it. So for this video, I'm kind of going to put all the funny stuff aside. I'll do a montage right now so you guys can enjoy it. So I'm going to put all that stuff aside and we're going to talk about just fundamental surfing, you know, old school fundamental surfing. Because obviously I love bomb drops, I love shove-its, I love finger flips, I love all that good stuff. Novelty waves, riding under pier, grinding rails, I love it. It's what I'm all about, and it's what makes me me. But what we're really talking about here is the fundamental surfing, and here's a couple things that I think have improved for me since I picked the board back up and really got into it. So since about January 1st, 2016, I have pretty much surfed every day of my life, and it has made an astounding difference in my ability. So like I talked about before, early in this video, you can see my barrel riding is immature. I'm dropping down to the bottom. I'm wasting a lot of the barrel. I'm getting in it, but not really. I'm still allowing my nose to be popping out. So what I've grown into from riding thousands and thousands and thousands of barrels over this 4 years since I picked surfing back up, I have learned how to read and time the barrel a little bit better. Something to be said about like the world's best barrel riders. Like if you watch Jamie like drop into a barrel, he's so calm. He's just in the perfect spot and he knows it. And this is something that I'm always aspiring to get better at. But here's a couple new age barrels, and you can see I drop in early, I'm putting myself in position, I'm putting my hand into the wave, slowing myself down and allowing myself to gain speed when I need it. So I'm getting deep and then coming out and making it through the section. My nose is disappearing behind the curtain. I'm not just sitting in the pocket pretending it's a barrel. You know, I'm really focusing and working hard to get into the barrel, disappear and come out clean. So I think one of the main things about barrel riding, and I work on this every time I go out, the main thing is to get into the barrel early, maximize the time inside the barrel, maximize the time behind the curtain, and come out clean with no water and come out either with or after the spit. Now, the barrels that I surf all the time, they usually don't spit, to be honest. Like, we get spitting barrels in New Jersey, but for the most part, I'm usually out of position for like the wave of the day. So I take what I can get, and a lot of them don't spit, but I'm still dropping in early. I'm positioning, I'm getting myself in. I'm getting myself a good amount of time behind the curtain and really allowing myself to enjoy that ride. So I think my barrel riding has vastly improved. Another thing that I want to talk about is my flow. You know, when I surfed as a kid, I'm doing these snaps and I'm hooking it. Like I'm just trying to crack the lip as hard as possible. But one of the things that I've learned and I've been working on is my rail surfing. I didn't even know about rail surfing until like 2 years ago. I literally just thought I had to go out there and destroy the wave. But I didn't know that you could vibe. I didn't know you could become a part of the wave. So what I've been working on, and especially now that I got my new fish, the retro fish, and I want to get some fiberglass fishes as well. And I have a buddy, his name's Jason Hines. What's up, Jason, if you're watching? He really opened my eyes to this. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he always told me like the difference between snaps and cars. And it's weird because I never even paid attention. I was just surfing, you know what I mean? But I've had the opportunity to watch all my footage over the past 4 years, and I'm starting to notice that I'm using my rail because I'm putting forth effort to use my rail. I love rail turns now. I'm all about the rail. I really don't need to do snaps because it's just not the same flow. But it is nice to like hook it a couple times, use the rail, and then finish away with a nice bash. But overall, I think as my surfing's maturing, I'm really getting into rail turns. Like, they are the shiz. And when I rode that 80s board, I was like, okay, now I get it. The fundamentals are real. These guys were shredding rail turns. Like, and I was getting some serious rail time on that 80s board. Okay, so as far as my air game, you know, my air game was good when I was a kid, but overall, I think some of my airs have improved, but I don't spend as much time and I'm not as focused on getting into the air. But the one thing I have noticed is I truly believe I get more hang time nowadays, because I've been trying to work on making it like skateboarding. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but I'm trying to work on making my air surfing like skateboarding. Like, the people that I love, their airs, like, I really think Noah Dean is like obviously the legendary air guy in history, and I love Nathan Fletcher's airs. He just does those huge no grab airs and his tail's like floating through the air. And yeah, obviously like Christian Fletcher, his brother, like started this thing with with going big, really, and making it like skateboarding. So like I really like try to pretend that I'm those guys when I get into the air. Obviously my airs are like a foot tall, but I still really enjoy it. And, you know, I really think I'm improving, and I just don't spend the time. But hopefully, you know, after this whole epidemic thing passes and I can travel the world again, I can really get out there and start trying to improve that. I want to talk about spins just really quick. I really think, like, I used to do some, and I do have a couple good ones on film, but the difference here is that in these videos that you're watching from 10 or 5 or 6 years ago, these are just the best highlights of what I did. So you're not seeing the day-to-day. Now when you guys watch my vlog, you're watching my day-to-day. So you're watching my bobbles, my falls, my bad ones, the ones where I catch a rail, where I don't spin perfectly, etc. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I truly believe that my understanding of rail to flat bottom surfing has changed a lot and grown a lot. Because back then I used to just hawk it into the lip and not really know what was going on. Now sometimes I can feel the rail releasing and the bottom of the board being used on the lip, and then me spinning around, or the bottom of the board planing across the wave and me spinning around. So I really think that my spin game has improved quite a bit. And besides that, I've had the opportunity to ride much bigger waves in the past 4 years. I'm obviously not claiming that I can surf big waves, but it definitely is something that I want to push into a little more. I want to get some bigger barrels in my life, and I really enjoy pushing myself in that aspect. So I'm not claiming 25-foot Mavs. Right now I'm claiming double overhead tubes would be a good start, and then maybe we can go to triple overhead tubes. And I said maybe. So I'm excited for that. I want to start doing some trips where I can get that going, and I want to know what you guys think. You know, I missed a lot, clearly. You know, this is a lot to think about, 10 years of surfing progression, but I think it's cool to dive back and look at what I was doing and what I'm doing now. Overall, I can say that the main things that have improved in my eyes, I think my flow and my barrel riding are a lot better. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment below. What was the sickest move in this video? What was the best clip? What do you guys think? You know, am I better or am I much worse? The world may never know, but we can sure as hell debate it in the comment section below. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, leave me a comment, say what's up. I try to reply to every comment. And if you're not subscribed and you're enjoying the videos, please hit the red button below, subscribe. And I'm trying to make a video every other day this summer. And maybe if I go on a trip, it's going to turn into every day. But I'm really enjoying the ride, guys. So thank you for everything. I love you guys. Nub Nation for the win. And this is truly the dream. The main point that I always want to make in my videos is not necessarily my surfing ability, because it's not a world-class ability. You know what I mean? I'm just out here having fun, and I'm spreading stoke and sharing stoke. But what I want to let you guys know is I was a pro surfer. I was about to be a pro surfer. I was going for it. I was going to do the thing. I lost all of that. I gave up on myself. I started drinking. I got fat. I didn't even surf anymore. And I came back in and I pushed as hard as I could, and I changed my life for the better, and I started surfing every day, and now I make a living as a surfer. So I just want to share with you guys the fact that you can do anything. You truly can. You can accomplish your dreams. I'm living proof that you can accomplish your dreams. And on top of that, I was 26 years old when I got back into surfing. That means I wasn't even surfing decent until I was about 28. I'm now 31 years old, and I've just begun to get good at surfing. I truly believe I have a lot of improving to do. I have bigger ways to surf, better barrels, everything. So I just want you guys to know, believe in yourself. Anything is possible. You can do it. You can live it for the dream. You just got to work hard, and you can't give up on yourself no matter what. So thank you guys for another epic video, and I will see you next vlog for the dream. And I'll see you tomorrow for drinking coffee and talking shit.